Right, good afternoon YouTube. It's Tuesday the 28th of December, so 3 days after Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you all. This is just a bit of an update on the channel, because the last one was the little walk around when I collected the Swift 122. But events have happened since then, unfortunately, and I don't have the van here, unfortunately. It's in the Fiat professional dealership. It's quite a long story, but what it is, when I brought it home, I brought it home from Brownhills on the Saturday. I drove it all the way home, everything, not a problem. Pulled into the driveway, parked it at the garage while I let Bodie out of the van and into the garden, opened the house up, went back out, jumped back in the van to put it at the side of the garage so I can plug it in. And when I got back in, there's a warning flashed up on the dash saying warning, excessive engine oil. So it was obviously too much oil in it. But anyhow, I reversed it round in the side of the garage. I plugged it in. I came in the house. I took me a few things out of there, my clothes and that, from the overnight bag and what have you. Excuse me. I also I got on the phone to Fiat Camper Assist and explained to them, and they said, right, we'll send the RAC out. So probably about half an hour later, I got a text message saying, this is the RAC, we're sending out a trusted partner, a third party, we're not coming out, we're going to send somebody else. So they sent somebody from Brownhills. He came out, I explained to him, showed him the dash and what have you. So he says, well, I'll take a bit of oil out, so have you got a dish? So I give him the pan to connect the oil in, climbed underneath there's a plastic bloody drip tray or something anyway, but he undone that and pulled it down a bit to get to the sun pluggy. Took it out, he dropped the bloody sun plug, so he had to grab that and put it back in. But at the end of the day, there was only less than half a litre of oil in the dish that I give him, in the pan I give him. So he took half a litre of oil out and he checked the thing. The warning was still on the dash, and he didn't have a correct code reader for the Fiat Ducato van, so he couldn't do anything about that. So in the end, he just put there's like a drip tray, it's like a plastic protection thing that goes underneath the sump anyway. But he put that back up, even though it was sprinkling full of oil on the top of it, like, because he didn't take it off properly. He didn't take it off altogether, he left it on so the oil run was in the top of this bloody drip tray. And said, I'll just inform the RAC, kind of do note about it. So I went away. So now this was quite late on the Sunday, I think it was, I can't remember, one of the days anyway. It was quite late anyway, so I left it the following morning, and I rung Fiat Camper Assist again, told them what had happened, and they said, right, we'll send the RAC back out to you, and they'll come out with the right code reader so they can read the code. So anyhow, and half an hour later, same text again, this is the RAC, we are sending out a third party, one of our trusted partners to you. So I thought, alright, so about 2 hours later, this guy turned up from Durham this time, the opposite way. The other one was from Brownhills, this one from Durham. He says, what had happened? I told him exactly what had happened, what the lad had done the night before, the previous lad from Brownhills had done the night before. So he says, right, okay then. So he jumped in, he got the key and he done a few things with the key and his feet on the pedals and that, and he says, oh, I'll actually clear it, but it hasn't, he says, so there's obviously something wrong there. So he says, I'll get back in touch with the RAC, but it looks like the van's going to have to go down to a Fiat professional dealer. So I says, right, fair enough. He says, and the guy says, he says, can you ring the Fiat professional dealer, which is North East Truck Van in Bladen, the nearest one to me, and tell them that it's coming, to pre-warn them. And I says, well, do you not do that, or does Fiat Camper Assist not do that? He says, but you ring them anyway. So I said, alright, fair enough. So he got on his phone to the RAC, which in turn they got into Fiat Camper Assist. By this time I had rung North East Truck Van and explained to them and told them that the van would be coming to them. So that was all. They're pre-warned that the van was coming into them. So anyway, long story. The guy from Durham said, right, that's all he can do. So he left, and then I think it was about 3.5 hours later, a recovery truck came. I had to explain it all again to him, and he says, right, fair enough. So he put the van on the back of the recovery truck, and he says, right, I'm taking it down to North East Truck and Van. This was getting on quite late then, so anyhow, we took it away, and at about 6 o'clock at night, I think North East Truck and Van rang and says, oh, your van's here, it's just come. We'll get onto it and have a look at it tomorrow, which would have been the Monday, I think. The Monday. There was a Sunday night, the Sunday when they took it away. So I said, all right, fair enough. So a week passed and nobody had rang me, so I rang North East Truck and Van, and they give us a load of bump about the oil, and they wanted to know exactly how much oil had been taken out of it by the guy that came on the thing. I says less than half a litre. He says, well, we've took 6 litres out, but what he didn't say is that for a full oil change, and that including the filter, 6.36 litres. So it wasn't overfilled with oil, if you look at it that way. Anyhow, so that was a week later, and I think it was Christmas Eve. I says, look, I told him, I says, look, I still got water on board, because I'd just come home with it. I'd been using it on the night before on the handover from Brownhills, because it was brand new. It's only done 200 miles, which was a trip back from Brownhills. So it still had water on board. I didn't get a chance to drain it before they took it away, or it slipped my mind actually. Anyhow, it went away with water, and I explained to them, it can't be left outside in the frost when it's got water on. So I'm coming down and I'll drain it down. So I think it was Christmas Eve anyway. But so I went down, and the guy, it was inside the garage, man. I'll give them that. Like, they had kept it inside, and he drove it out. He says, well, he drove it out so I dropped the water. But he was talking to the technician. He says, look, he says, I'm sorry that you haven't got it back in time. He says, but I've been on it for days. He says, with the computer and what have you. What they've done is they dropped all the oil out altogether, everything out of it. Cleaned that bloody plastic pan up that lad had spilt oil on. He cleaned all that up and put it back on, put the pump back in, and put the exactly correct amount of oil in that should be in it. And then it goes on their computer system, but it's got to be up to temperature, 70 degrees or something, he said, to check the oil level, because there's no dipstick on these new Series 8 engines. You can't dipstick it because there's absolutely none. It's all electronic. So he puts it on the computer. He said he had it on the computer. He says it said to him, add 200 millilitres of oil. And he knew he put the exact right amount in that was supposed to be in the engine. So he thought, right, we'll do this scientifically. He says, we'll put 10 millilitres in at a time. So he done that. And he got up to the 200 millilitres that the computer had told him to put in, and it was still telling him to put in that 200 millilitres in. So there was an obvious fault on there. So what he'd done is he'd done it all again, dropped everything out of it, started from scratch, done it all again, and exactly the same result. Add 200 millilitres of oil. So obviously, all this time he'd been in backwards and forwards talking to Fiat Direct, the Fiat company. And in the end, what they've said is that we'll change the oil sensor. But the thing is, with it being a new Series 8 van, it's next year's van, there's only a handful of them in the country, so there's no parts in the country, so the oil sensors have to come from Italy. The technician says it may be here between Christmas and New Year, and we'll get the van back here if it is that. But if not, it'll be early January when the part comes in. So, but hopefully it's going to be that sensor that's been at fault. If not, there's a problem with the ECU. But anyhow, that's another story. So this video is just to inform people why there hasn't been a follow-on to the walk around. There will be as soon as I get the van back, even though the weather's crap at the minute. I'll be doing the little walk around and the external walk around and that and what have you, but in the meantime, that's what the situation is. And if you look in the description below, I've opened a group on Facebook for Swift 122 campervan motorcyclist, and the link would be in there. So if any of my subscribers, I think I'm got 28 now, somehow, thank you very much for that. If you could go along and join the group, because there's only one member so far, and that's me. But anyhow, the link will be in the description below, and that's about it for now. So hopefully we're going to see you with a van pretty soon, early on in January. So in the meantime, happy Christmas once again, and have a great New Year's Eve if you're going to have a little bit of a party or a shindig, and we'll see you early in January. So stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye for now. Bye now.